Oh my God! What is that?
Oh my God, it's not funny.
That's my thing. All day of the week.
Don't do it.
You see how I yap and see how everything just flows? Goes from one conversation to another.
So,
What we're gonna do about it? But we're here to yap. What are we talking about?
Child. Anyway, so
I don't know. So what? That's what it is. Hey, guess who's back? Back again. Brand new episode. Yes. Hi, guys. This is Ayanda. I am back with another episode of So What Now? So basically, as in to be clear, I want to tell y'all something about this podcast and its purpose. I think I said it the last episode, I'm not sure, but I just want to be clear. This is not a messy podcast. We don't do mess here. I may love mess. It might be the reason I'm here, but we don't do mess here, okay? So what we do here is basically offer a different perspective on what's happening on socials, you know? I'm looking at trending topics. I'm hearing both sides. I'm thinking to myself, oh, this one person is saying this other person is saying this, and I come in and I take both sides and I look at them and I come in, bring my different perspective. Do you want to hear it? I don't care. That's what's going to happen. It is what it is, right? So that's where we're at. So I don't want you people to treat this as a Tasha K with the T or a mess. I don't do mess. I'm a very peaceful girl. I love peace. I love chakra alignments. You know, that's what I'm about. But the mess has brought me here to bring a fresh perspective. May not be new. I'm not that great, but might be a fresh one. A fresh perspective that no one has thought of. Like today's episode, baby. Hey, it's interesting. We started off 2025 with a bang as usual. TikTok was up. By the way, this is a TikTok podcast. I just want to tell everybody that every topic that you might see here is based on what I saw on TikTok. It's not on X. Don't ask me about Elon. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to know. I mean, I do know what's happening. I'm not that ignorant, but I'm just saying TikTok has become that app, you know, that drives conversations, and that's where I get my content. And thank you, girls, for being messy because, wow, I stay entertained. That's what happens. Again, let's get the TikToks, guys. Let's do that. Ooh, sorry. Yeah. Let's get into that. Let's see what the kids are saying. And so interesting, very different world viewpoints about everything. The kids have opinions, and I'm proud of that. I'm happy to see that the kids have opinions, but are the kids really, really thinking? Well, interesting. Yes, I mean, they are. There's some TikTokers in this country that I think, oh, wonderful. I love this kid. I can see she's going somewhere, you know? And there's some of y'all where I'm just like, damn, what are we going to do with the kids? Where are the kids going? Because, yeah, it's rough out there. But that's my point. My point is, this is not about being messy. This is about bringing different perspectives on topics that truly affect our lives, you know? I'm just saying, okay, how about this? You know, did you think about this? So if I do happen to bring a fresh perspective, something that can change your thinking, which is not my also prerogative. I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm just saying there is more ideas and worldviews. It's not just one thing. It's not black and white. There's some gray areas in between. And those gray areas need to be considered. Yeah. So, welcome back. So now. Alrighty. So, obviously, in case you're wondering how we started there, baby, The kids were mad. Let me tell you, Ashlume baby, wherever you are, you started mess on TikTok. It was feminists versus pick-me's, yeah? Ashlume just woke up one day and decided to tell women that you people are weaponizing feminism.
Stop weaponizing feminism, guys. Feminism is not the hate for men. Feminism is not about no marriage. Feminism is not about not being conservative. Feminism is not about single motherhood. Stop all these ideologies you're trying to push with feminism. They have nothing to do with feminism. All of these things you'll want to do is a trauma response. If you're being honest, you don't want marriage because you saw your mother suffering in marriage. You think marriage is about serving men because growing up they told you have to do this and this and this and this because that's how you're going to get married. If you can't cook and clean, you're never going to get married. It's a trauma response. You don't want marriage because that's what you associate marriage with. Marriage is a partnership. In this economy, actually, getting married is great because you have two people tackling this economy, especially in the black community. It's a great concept. I'm sorry. If you are demonizing marriage, you have a problem. You need to go to therapy or something.
Yo! Couldn't have chosen a new word, weaponizing. Everybody weaponizing this everywhere. And hey, there's always a new buzzword I get. Now we are weaponizing feminism. We don't hate men. It's because of your past traumas with men, as if that's not good reason enough to be feminist. As if that's not good reason enough to be feminist. Because... so you think all men, baby. Yeah, so Ashlume babes, she came in, right?
And I mean, each and every movement is based on a past trauma. Whether we say all Black Lives Matter, it's because something was happening that triggered that.
Exactly.
So why can't my feminism be based on my trauma? Because
what would it be based on? Because inequality is traumatic. What would it be based on? What would you prefer, babe? You're based on love? I'm going to need someone to come into the party. That will be men. I'm going to need them to show the love to us. Are they doing that? We are a rape capital. Femicide is happening. Transphobia, homophobia. This country is such a conservative country. We just pretend that we're not, but we are. We are. Hence, you can be well-spoken and seem like you're educated and liberal, but still have pick-me tendencies. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Ashlume is a pick-me. Is a pick-me. I mean, I was on the girl's side. When she opened her mouth, I was like, I'm set. Girl, say your piece. I'm that disappointed, Kestan. Hey! I'm that disappointed. I was like, damn. And I'm saying this from someone who has identified as a feminist before. A radical one. Life has kicked my ass so much now that I'm just human, But I started out as one. And it's crazy looking back, being a radical feminist at 16, because I didn't have enough life experience for me to be so behind an ideology. But however, being like that at 16 has helped and shaped the person that I am now. I am very confident in myself. I'm so self-sufficient. I can do anything. And I can argue with the men all day. And they can't say shit. Can tell you that much. Because I'm probably more logical than they are. Because I've thought about it. Okay? They do things because, this is what's expected. Personally, I was not a fan of the bear thing. Because I felt like it was dehumanizing. But then, I'm also big on men having to do the work. Stop dehumanizing yourselves and start being human. Feminism is very much necessary, whether it's based on trauma or not. It's very necessary to help women start thinking for themselves. Can't be centering men in your life, and then when something happens, because one thing I know about men, they will always choose themselves. Shut up. I always, if there's one thing about them, I'm like, if there's one thing that I learned from a man is that you will choose yourself. And I'm like, that's why we're doing that. I love that. Choose you, king. Pick, you know what struggles to pick, I think the girls need to get on that bus as well. But they don't wanna. They don't wanna because they wanna be picked. And when they are picked, something happens in between that. Mr. Man keeps choosing himself. And then you come back on the internet and be like, yo, guys, I'm a daughter. Hey, hey, hey. Girl. I mean, I love a girl like anyone else. I'm not one, not a lover girl. But when I see them, oh, they're cute. I love it. I love love. Everybody loves loves. And doesn't necessarily mean that when you're a feminist, you can't be in a relationship or a healthy one. No, feminism helps with boundaries in relationships. You shouldn't be so reliant on someone else for your own joy. Everything, like, oh, she even mentions like, oh, in this economy, only jolly economy. Yeah, but I don't jolly ndlala. And then nilapo. I've heard people say, oh, I'm not happy in this relationship anymore, but I can't leave because I need to pay rent, like it's so expensive. You mean you can't, you're willing to sacrifice your joy, your peace of mind to pay rent? That makes sense to you? Really? This is how you want to live your life. And this is how then you're going to cheat. This is how then gender-based violence starts, because the man knows you're not going to go anywhere. So they're going to do whatever they want, right? That's what, and then you watch someone walk all over you because why? You want to pay, because you can't afford paying rent. And that tells me you don't want to downgrade your lifestyle, because sometimes life calls you to do that. Sometimes you got to downgrade, because things are not hlanganing. As hlangani zinto, this is where you are right now in your life. Life is asking you to rethink, That's anyway how I feel about challenges in personally, right? So if you're gonna choose convenience in this economy, to live this way over your happiness, over your peace, and sometimes it's even worse because kids are involved, right? That's crazy to me. That's crazy talk. So, yeah, no, they came for her. They came for her, guns blazing. Everyone, it was a mess on TikTok. The men were quiet. They were on the sidelines. They were quiet watching this because it involved big English, I can tell you that. Because I have another example where men were loud. There was another girl, another pick-me-ism. Her name is Tamara. She's from KZN. She came in gun blazing. My girl said, a woman with more than, or she's a woman with kids, or a woman with more than one kid have no value, have lost value.
She even made it the example of the car thing. I think there was a car thing where she says, when you buy a car, at the
depreciate.
At depreciated. So when you buy the car,
so
so she made the thing about when you buy the car that's pre-owned and the new one is different.
Imagine.
That was like how she valued the value of this whole thing.
Are you kidding me? Taking a whole live human being with a soul and a spirit, a person with ancestors, someone that the universe conspired to bring them here, and compare them to a man-made product that is a vehicle. That's a human being, and you're comparing it to a car. So, now I have a question. If a woman, when they sleep with a man, they lose value, who's the problem? Who brings the problem? Who is the person that lowers the value of said person? It's a man. So who's the problem? Who's the problem? Nantoge, they were very loud on this. Zulu men, by the way. I'm just gonna take them there from Nkandla. They were very loud. They were like, yeah, Tamara, alrighty. They even gave her money. They sent her money. And I also do, though, however, I want to say to I also, because I love reading the comments, that's where I get a sense of what everyone is saying beyond the video, right? I saw a girl saying, Yo, Tamara, ungikwatisile. I think that's a problem, girl. That's a problem if Tamara akwatisa with just a video saying you have no value, because I feel like she's triggering you for a reason. You also somewhere unama feelings attain, you know. I don't think Tamara would bother me. Judging by just looking at her, I don't think anything would bother, because there was a lot of responses from single mothers of 3, you know. And I mean, I was listening to her. So I was like, okay, cool. Okay, I do understand being a single mother of 3. Okay, all different men. You're also a contributor into the problem, right? Like every relationship, when I'm done, like, like you wanted to know that you were in there. Mele kube the evidence. And raising a kid is not easy. Doing it alone is even worse. I will tell you that much. So I was willing to listen. Apambano was calling a value to a human being. Value, losing value. And the person that causes like, yeah, all right. 60% of women in South Africa are single mothers. 60%. And the large majority of that is black women. Black men don't raise their kids in this country.
And I think the value, like, how do you
measure
value?
up? So purity politics. You need to be pure. Who's telling men to be pure? And they say, yeah, that's the problem. Men are hunters. I think they should start hunting themselves. They should start hunting themselves and leave women alone. We all good out here. And because if they did, in fact, stop hunting, then we wouldn't have single mothers. Right? Give a pick-me-ism. This is, and just look at both of them, right? Look at Atlumile with her very well-spoken. You know, she can conduct herself a certain way. If she walks into spaces, people would give her some, you know, she looks pretty. The girl's pretty. She was put together. She got a fat ass. Hey, she's nice. Right? You know what? At least you got Tamara. Soon after they gave Tamara money, they found out that Tamara was sleeping with one of my friends, you know, the guys that own the shops there in the locations. There's a video of her with Abdul. I don't know if that's his name, but that's what I'm going with. That's what they called him. So I'll go with that. And men were like, what? So Ulimal ga Abdul. So Uvuga a shop. They were now angry at her for having slept with another man. But also, just so you know, she does have a kid. And then Gutiwa, the first kid, is a mistake. Which brings me to another point. I feel like men don't understand how reproductive works, because that sperm of yours is what creates life. So you're a life carrier, basically. And the life lives in a womb, comes out to be. It's also your responsibility not to be planting your life. There's this new life everywhere. It is also your responsibility. Why should it only lie on me?
I know. And fun enough, men can literally impregnate a woman over and over again. But once you're pregnant as a woman, that's it. For the
Only
9 months,
nine months.
You can't get pregnant. But
A
men can do it.
every 2 hours. He can go knock somebody up.
Literally. And then then the value, where do we put
Imagine
the value then? Like, it's like,
imagine a man with 4 kids entering. Like, actually, personally, I don't have kids and I don't want to date anyone with a kid. I can take one, but that's really 2. No, it would depend on how old you are, were you married, you know, that sort of situation, divorce. 2 baby mamas. I know you are a traveling nigga. I know, but with cabaret. That's what you are. I'm not letting those cabaret come. No. Are you kidding me? So anyway, these are 2 stories, right? I'm talking about 2 women who are completely different, and both of them are pick-me's. And we haven't even gotten to the bottom of why they are like that. We haven't even scratched that surface, because Ahlume, baby, you are a pick-me. And if you can come out and say, yeah, and I want to be picked, and she's already been picked, lucky for her. Safuna. And I hope she gets picked as well. Which will bring me to another point. Men don't understand how dangerous pick-me's are. Pick-me will destroy your life, my nigga. They don't understand how dangerous pick-me's are. Hey, I used to live in Pretoria, by the way. A very posh area. And the girls were driving Porsches and whatnot. My friend would go to the gym and listen to the conversation. And a girl would be on some, yeah, my ex-husband will never get married again. The way I cleaned him up. That's a pick-me. She did what needed to be done. I mean, bravo to her. I stand. However, she has destroyed that man for another woman. That man will never trust a woman ever again. I mean, maybe he does need therapy. I mean, I think we all do in this country. But to pride yourself like that, I think marriage works. Marriage is needed. And right now, I just saw a story yesterday or some time ago. An actress that has been working since they were 7 years old, divorced husband a couple of years ago. They were together for 10 years and been paying the man alimony and been paying child support. The woman is doing that. My nigga now is coming for half of her. He wants everything now. He said, nah, give me everything. And that's feminism for you. That's everyone has a right to do that. It's even more painful when it's been done to a woman. Mm-hmm. It's so painful because she's been working for such. And then now women are out saying, oh, women should never marry lower. Oh, women. Money doesn't mean anything. I don't need me a basketball player. I do. He needs to pay the bills. Bills gotta be paid. What do you mean? Who gonna pay the bills? Yeah? So, yeah. Basically, ganyiwa out there. It's rough. So, obviously these views come from a woman who's about to be 37 years old, who was a staunch feminist at 16 and stopped identifying as a feminist at 26 after life has showed me flames. So I think I'm qualified to speak on the topic. Not to say I because also identity politics are so tricky for me, right? I can't deal with them. Like, I'm human first before anything else. So I believe as a person, I stand up for justice. And in the state that we are, a society, women are mostly the victims, right? Women and children. So no one is standing up for them. And I'll do that. And trust me, if someone mistreats a man, I'm there to be like, you don't do that. Because I also consider men human beings. I think the biggest switch in my head was stop seeing men as enemies. And I start seeing them as human beings. And I actually told my friend last year, my favorite. Anyway, I was like, the reason I get along with men is because I see them as human beings and I don't, nothing beyond that. Yeah. You know, whatever he can do, I can do. He has feelings. He may chuck them down and not want to speak about them and do all of that, but he is still human. He's susceptible to everything that I'm going through. Of course, doesn't have a womb and all of that, the uterus that makes him, a little moody, but they be little bitches sometimes, and that's okay, and that's fine. And this is how this is how my feminism then evolved. I'm no longer seeing myself as a victim of men, right? Because also I realized that actually women are co-conspirators of oppressing other women, a la Ahlumile and Tamara, and that's a problem. But that's just also society, right? We need to evolve our thinking. And I do a lot of research. I watch movies, I read a lot, and I'm also very observant in how people behave, right? And yeah, I think as much as I do appreciate that there's a crop of kids that are growing up with this ideology to establish themselves. But I tell you now, I don't think there's a radical feminist over the age of 30. We get tired.
Because it comes with experience. It comes with experience. I definitely think
it comes with experience. Like you can be so resolute on an idea, on some, yes, this is my stance. But then life happens and now the stance has to sort of shift, And I hope it doesn't shift into pick-me-ism, because I think that's what happened with Lashume. But it can shift in just broadening your views of the world and also bring it on a personal level. Because sometimes it's just theory, and theory is difficult. This is why school is so hard, because you're writing from theory. I think life experience is important for you to then be on some, this is my stance for life. Yeah, I'm team men, right? But do I hate men?
No.
Sometimes.
But
on a regular basis, as I interact with men. I interact with men, and we're all good. And the men that I interact with, I feel safe, with them. Because I also know, and there's some men that I don't feel safe with, and I won't interact with that man. There's some women I don't feel safe with. They have betrayed me, So, am I anti-women? I love women, but sometimes they're a little dumb. We gotta deal with them. Yeah, they're not very smart. And you're like, oh, no, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? But also these things come with life experience.
Yeah.
Come with life experience, and that's what it is. Just everybody needs to grow up a little bit. And unfortunately, the internet is forever. So there's always gonna be someone be like, oh, wasn't it you who said this? Hi, so you've changed your views now. Wasn't it you? And that's okay. You can own that up and be like, no, I was a child.
And also people are allowed to change their views.
You are not
yesterday I could have said this, and then tomorrow it's not like...
Last week, the love of my life was someone. This week, when I decide about, I don't love
and
my
I
life.
don't want men.
Exactly. Exactly. Because who are you to tell me? This is my life after all. Are you helping me pay the bills? So, be a pick-me-ism, but it's got to bore us. Don't bore us. Don't bore us. And that's all I'll say about it. So, yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I have a lot to say about a lot. Sit, listen, digest. Don't overreact. Don't be now. Come on. Talk again like a silent lad. Oh, I'm not one of your little friends. So, what I'm saying, I'm asking you to take in the information, think about it. You could disagree. Say it in a nice way. Because again, we don't do mess here. We don't call people names. Maybe I did a little bit.
Don't be a pick-me.
However, within context, kaloku man, But yeah, so let me know, comment, share, tell somebody, talk to your friends about, see where everyone is, see how you feel, let me know. We are on social media, obviously. But if you want my personal one, I'll give that later. So now, for now, it's just, it is so what, right? Yeah, apparently, it's so what now. Yeah. See you later.